Hello, my name is Paul Gendron. I'm 33 years old and I'm applying for the NAIT radio stream. What inspired me to apply for the program? The inspiration, I would say, has always been there for me since I started playing music, which was about 20 years ago. Radio jockeying back in the day has always seemed like a really fun thing to do. Any movie you've watched where there was a radio DJ involved, they just constantly looked like they were having a blast. Not to mention the amount of radio one has listened to in his life. There's a complete realization there that it is a fun job. Typical work day and what is expected from an industry employee. From what I gathered from my friends who have taken the program and have succeeded in it, there is a lot of brainstorming, storyboarding, as well as keeping up with a lot of the up-and-coming trends or current trends, the news as well too, and a lot of up-and-coming music and acts, of course. I mean, it's kind of goes hand in hand, you would think, for sure. What you would expect for skills and abilities in the industry would be essentially to have the personality and the drive to want to continue keeping up with all those trends and those topics, because essentially what kind of show do you have if you only have dry content? You have to have some fun in there, you have to have some serious topics as well too, and of course you have to have relatable topics to the music industry, of course. I do believe you have to speak clearly, but not so robotic that people are lulled to sleep by your voice. We've all heard those 1 a.m. Late night talk shows and the monotone voice, and it just kind of puts you to sleep. I listen to them solely for that reason, but of course, if you are looking to be a fun-loving radio personality like I am, of course you'd have to really portray it over the radio as well too. I do have a huge background in music as well, as I was saying earlier, so I think the fact of the matter is I can perform in front of large groups, I can perform in front of 2 people and feel comfortable doing it as well too. It's given me, I think, what's the phrase, a leg up, because in a band you always have to keep track of all the trends and all the upcoming acts and the new styles of music coming out, because you always want to be able to stay current and be on top of the trends to be successful for sure. I also have a really good ear for things that someone might not really realize is going to be an up-and-coming thing, and lo and behold, 2 months later they're number 1 on the top 100. So I think that really helps me out as well too. I think one major thing I would like to work on, and you hear it constantly on the radio, and I think it just involves a lot of quick thinking and wit, which I will personally say I have a lot of it myself, but the bantering between colleagues, co-workers, and even the listeners on the telephone line, I think that's really awesome, and it's a really fun way of, enjoying your job. Again, that's something I'd like to improve on with the course as well. Social media. Let's be honest here, there are 3 sources that most people get all their news from, and that's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Specifically Instagram and Facebook for me. If there's something on Facebook, within 10 minutes it's on Instagram. Everything you need to know as far as a Trump rally to Miley Cyrus's next thing that she did while performing live, all the way to some of your favorite celebrities. And let's be honest here, we're all guilty of wanting to know what's happening in Hollywood, so people want to hear it as well too. It's just, I think it's a human trait. So yeah, those are the 3 social media sites I really do follow, and of course I do have a 15-year-old niece who keeps me up to date on things that I may fall back on a little here, so that really helps. Ideal job after graduation would be a radio personality, essentially. Call it a disc jockey, a DJ. I call it a personality because I do believe your personality helps you thrive in the industry. Hard work as well too, of course, but fact of the matter is, if you're not a likable person, in real life you're probably not going to be that likable, unfortunately, on the radio. And so I think personality has a lot to do with it, hence why I call it a radio personality. Starting salary, of course, I've looked on the NAIT website. It starts around 28 grand a year. It changes yearly, I believe, based on economy as well too. So that's exactly what I'm expecting. I would like to stay in Edmonton. My family's here, my friends are here, but like I said, a couple of my friends have successfully completed the program and have been placed as far as Nova Scotia, some smaller towns in Alberta as well too. So seeing as Alberta is about 1 million population, that is, I guess, the mass that I'd like to be broadcasting to, but not necessarily what I expect. But thank you for your time, and I hope to be a September student in the radio stream program at NAIT. Thank you.